like to remind all of our listeners that the opinions of individual shows or DJs do not necessarily reflect those of NBR Radio. Please keep in mind this is entertainment and intended for the listener with a sense of humor.
Portions of this program may not be suitable for those under the age of 18. Parental guidance is suggested.
Of course. A place for all and all the game teaches.
Beer30 is when you walk into a bar or a VFW, and in that 30 seconds, you can already tell.
That guy right there is drunk, that guy's an idiot, and that guy down there knows it all.
There are programs out there beyond the VA.
Many nonprofit organizations. The Beer30 Show.
It's the Beer30 Show. Made by veterans.
For
Welcome
veterans.
to another edition of the Beer30 Show with Danny and Joel. Broadcasting from two different states, it is two veterans with one mission to show there are more programs beyond the VA. My name is Joel.
And my name's Danny.
Joining us, remember before we get started, we have 3 apps you can download and listen via Military Brotherhood Radio, Simple Radio, or the famous TuneIn Radio. Remember, at any time that if you like to chime in, you can call 720-316-0368, or today we're testing it. Hopefully we don't have as many problems as we did Friday, but you can also follow us on Twitch TV / I believe it's the Beer30 podcast or Beer30 show. It's on our Facebook page. So if you miss anything, go on our Facebook page, and you should be able to get the information off there. Our producer Brandy is really good about updating that and trying to keep our listeners to date with all the new stuff, since we are branching out day by day because we feel our message and our mission is really important. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. We have a great show today. We're talking to Purple Heart Homes, and I guess the Purple Heart Homes, it's an organization national, but they have one here in Colorado, I believe, but I'm just like you, I don't really know. So when we talk to them later on, we'll be sure to ask them that question. We have a sick person on board today, and he's gripping it just so that he can be part of the show. So we wanted to make sure that we tell Danny that we really appreciate you stomaching. Even the crowd is happy that you're here. So how's your what is it, your fever, your throat? Tell the listeners what's going on with you, bro.
Bronchitis, some viral infection, and severe allergies all at once. It's great. If you couldn't tell my big, bright red face right now.
Yeah, you guys can see him on video. Danny doesn't grace me with his face on video right now because we're worried about how much bandwidth because of Friday's show. Oh my gosh, it was the worst show ever. Everybody was probably laughing, but I was over here blowing anxiety smoke, and Danny over there, he was crying in laughter because Danny doesn't let things get to him. But Danny, I don't know if you caught this, but I have to say this. I got to toot my own horn. Toot toot. But I did my first test today at school. Now, you have to remember, listeners, that I have a traumatic brain injury. So my memory isn't very good. In fact, sometimes you'll see me looking across from the computer. One of the reasons is because I can't memorize stuff. So I have it scripted exactly what to say and what not to say. So, with that being said, today was our first test, and I did it in class with no help, and I got a B plus. And it was. I gotta admit, it was kind of emotional. It was kind of emotional because for the last 5 years, 6 years, I was told by the VA they wouldn't put me through college. They wouldn't attempt me to go to college. They wouldn't sign off on it because teaching me was like pouring milk in a cup with holes at the bottom. It was a waste of money and there was no use. So, yeah, I got kind of teary. I mean, I'm sure, Danny, when you do tests at school, you don't like break down and you know. So, like today, but I was so excited because I had a lot this weekend about getting that test. Um, but with that being said, how about you? Do you got anything going on, Danny?
I'm dying. I,
Danny's dying. I told him that
I'm
he didn't have to talk that much.
I'm working around and trying to. You're frozen on the Twitch right now, so I'm trying to figure out what's going on with it. All at the same time, and halfway listening to you like I normally do.
uh, Dan- Danny's pulling a Joel.
Mm.
Well, anyways, when so we're going to go ahead and break off to commercial now. And when we come back, we will be talking to, we hopefully will be talking to Monte Fleming, the treasurer of Purple Heart Homes of Colorado. Colorado. So please stay tuned and thanks for listening, everybody. All right, everybody, we are back, and on the line we have Monte, Monte Fleming. See, Danny, you should be proud of me. This time, I actually tried to say the last name. So, you know, I always butcher it, Monte. I always
Yeah,
butcher the last name. So,
you're butchering the first name.
oh, really?
Yeah,
How do you pronounce it?
Monte. Yeah,
Monte.
yeah, like Monty Hall, Monty Python.
Okay. All right. Got it. I'm sorry
That's
that
okay.
I butchered that. Man, I was tooting my horn. See, that's what happens when I toot my horn. I fall on my face. Um
You're doing
so
great.
so Monty, now I'm like sitting here scared to say his first name. Mr. Fleming is from Purple Heart Home, USA. And Danny, you know what? I'll go ahead and ask the first question because we don't have a script. My Mr. Fleming, the reason why this question came into my mind is because I know that Purple Heart Homes is national. Is it? It is national, right? Or is it just here in Colorado? Because
Uh, no, negative. They're working on becoming national. Um, if you want, I could give you a little rundown on the history of where Purple Heart Homes came from and who the founders are.
okay,
You're
awesome.
talking, yeah. Purple Heart Homes was founded by two North Carolina, um, I'm sorry, South Carolina battle buddies that were both injured by an IED in Iraq. John Galena and Dale Beatty in a Humvee hit an IED. Dale's a double amputee below the knee, and John has pretty severe back injuries in the TBI. Um, they were injured. They came back, and one of the mottos is "Don't leave a soldier behind on the battlefield." Well, they found there was kind of a shortfall of leaving a soldier behind here at home, and basically John Galena built and adapted Dale's home so that it was wheelchair accessible and safe and accessible for Dale to move around in his home. So basically, they thought that was a great idea and started Purple Heart Homes. And they have several programs. They reach out to all eras of veterans, World War II to Iraqi injured vets that have a service-related disability through the VA.
That is so awesome. That really is. So, um, you guys are kind of like homes for troops, uh, but without being like, um, how do I say it without being mean? Um, you guys are like homes for troops, except you guys aren't a little. You guys aren't as spoiled.
Well, our mission is to allow all veterans to feel safe and secure in their own home, despite their handicap. One of our missions or programs is VAIP, Veterans Aging in Place, where, if they own their home, and as the older areas, the older generations of veterans age, they may have been fine in their home 20 years ago,
Right.
but as they progress, age and balance become an issue. So, I mean, our goal is something as simple as putting grab handles in a bathroom or building a handicap accessible ramp through the front door, anything like that. It's modification to the homes that they own.
Okay. All
It
right.
no cost to them.
Yeah. Once again, that's awesome. Danny, I'm sorry I took your spotlight away for a little bit. I'll go ahead and let you ask a question because I know you have a lot of questions that you have for him.
Oh, I've just been sitting here messing with this program here, trying to get you back on it.
So the uh, I don't know if you've heard of our show, Mr. Fleming, but what we did was we've been branching out more and more these last couple of months, and we learned about OBS and Twitch TV, and we have created a screen or a TV channel, and so far right now, um, Danny is messing with it because Friday when we started the show and we did it, you name it, everything went wrong. I mean, it was total chaos. Stuff was freezing. Danny's a little bit better with stress compared to me. I don't know what it is, but my PTSD it doesn't like to cooperate. It kicks in when it wants to, you know.
Yeah,
So
stress doesn't help that at all.
Uh,
yeah, exactly.
don't let him
So
lie
I
to you.
guess
Joel's been like that his whole life. I mean,
oh
he just he's Mr. Negative Nancy over there. He always is. And I've always been the positive Patty, I guess is how you want to call it.
oh wow. I wasn't that negative. Now you're painting a really bad picture of me.
Okay, well, if we had to put this into perspective, Joel, uh, I'm not even going to try because I can't even think right now because I'm not feeling good. But so you don't even get the perspective today. So I don't even know what question you left off at, to be honest.
Well, I was gonna say just start on your third question.
Okay, so I guess where does one fill out an application for your guys' program?
There's several locations, like I was saying, the main hubs in Carolina, North Carolina, and then there's five chapters. There's two in North Carolina, one in South Carolina, one in Lower States, New York, and then we're the first chapter west of the Mississippi. So if they go to purplehearthomeusa.org, all the information is there where they can donate, who they can nominate a soldier, or the soldier himself to put an application in, or information about starting the chapter. You'd asked earlier about being national. We're a young, growing nonprofit that wants to spread across the country like wildfire. So, the more chapters we get opened west of Mississippi, the better it is for us and the soldiers.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it is.
Eh, Joel, I'll let you continue to answer. I'm kind of messing with this a little bit, so
Okay, yeah, no problem. Yeah, we actually I'll go ahead and mention her name. I belong to a motorcycle club, Brotherhood of Veterans, and so apparently the one of the members of our club who is very into the club and very into helping veterans with their missions. She gave us your name, and with all the organizations that we interview, just so you know, we do a full investigation on them for about 3 weeks, going through Charity Navigator, going through the 990. So the ones that we interview, so we get a lot of listeners and we get a lot of followers. The ones that we interview and we post on our Facebook page, those are the ones that we promote and speak to. And
And
your organization came up. So her name is Debbie. I don't know if you know Debbie or not. Her husband is Mike. I would say they're Crawley. I hope I pronounced that right. Mike and Debbie Crawley are the ones that mentioned your organization. So we
huh,
did investigate. We found out that you guys are great, that you have more money going out for veteran donations than you actually have coming in.
yes,
So
sir.
we wanted to get you on the show interview and give everybody, and I'll go ahead and give it to them because I have it here. If you guys would like to make a donation or volunteer or contact Purple Heart Homes USA, the the web address is www.purplehearthomesusa.org/Colorado. And of course, our producer Brandy, if she hasn't already, she will get that up on our Facebook page once we feature the video of us talking to you, because we have a YouTube channel and we have a Facebook channel. We're everywhere.
Well,
So
I'm glad I'm not on that. I have a voice for radio and a face for radio. So
not a problem, not a problem. So continuing on, what is veterans aging in place? I don't think you spoke of that. And if you did, uh, please excuse my n- not listening skills, but I don't remember you saying anything about that.
yeah, I talked a little bit about VAIP, Veterans Aging in Place. If we have a veteran that has a service-connected disability, and they do own their own home, then we are able to go in and make modifications to make the home safe and accessible for them. That's one thing is they need to own their home for us to do that program. And we do have another program that's not active in our chapter. It's mainly done in the Carolinas in regards to purchasing a home, doing the remodel modifications of that home, and basically getting a mortgage at 50% of the appraised value for that soldier to purchase and move into that home. So that's one of the other programs that is working in other areas. Here, the market is just so crazy that we can't find any homes for that. So we strictly work on the veterans aging in place here in Colorado.
Okay, all right. My next question, and I know a lot of veterans are thinking about this and they don't come out. It actually affected me at one point because to traumatic brain injury wasn't considered an injury for a Purple Heart until I believe 2009 or 2008 timeframe. And there was a lot of people that deployed to Iraq, uh, such as myself, and they retired, but they never got that Purple Heart. I mean, I was kind of lucky, but some people aren't as lucky because there's a lot of guys that I know that retired for traumatic brain injury and they don't have a Purple Heart. If they have orders that said they retired because of combat but don't have a Purple Heart, are these ones that you consider, or do they have to have a Purple Heart on their DD-214?
Absolutely not. It's
Okay.
just the name of our nonprofit. Profit. They have to have a VA rated, service rated disability. And
Okay.
off the top of my head, I'm sorry, I can't remember the percentage of disability that they need to have. But no, they don't need to have a Purple Heart to qualify for any of our services that we do.
Okay, that is awesome because I know a friend of mine. He put in an application for organization. I won't name names, but he put in an application for an organization, and they told him that he wasn't injured enough to have a house, and he was paralyzed at both of his or paralysis of both of his legs. So that's really good to know. I will most definitely talk to him about that. Uh,
Right?
we're we're running out of time, so unless Danny has another question, um, I will ask the last question, and then we'll give you the board, and you can say whatever you would like to say before we let you go. What what are the Boots to Backyards mentor program?
Oh, great. Glad you asked that question. Unfortunately, we just started our chapter a year ago this March. So we are not off the ground with the mentorship program. But basically, what that is these are certified counselors, mentors. A lot of veterans, young veterans especially, dealing with finances and, the increased medical costs of their injuries and things like that, and home ownership, financial counseling, things of that nature to get them built up to where they can manage money and several other aspects of dealing with coming back to the country in a different form than when you left the war.
Awesome. Well, Mr. Fleming, we really appreciate your time today. And I'll give you a couple of minutes or 30 some seconds or so to go ahead and express anything that we might not cover that you can let our listeners out there know. And keep in mind, if they're not listening, we get 100 listens at least usually on our podcast. So the information will get out there. So uh, the stage is all yours. Go ahead and mention anything you would like to before we let you go.
Well, thank you, Joel and Danny, for the opportunity to talk to your audience about what Purple Heart Homes does and what our mission is. And once again, if you're interested in donating, starting a chapter, or volunteering, our website is www.purplehearthomesusa.org. And just go to the webpage and follow whichever lead you want. And once again, really appreciate the opportunity, and thank you for the listener that promoted Purple Heart Homes to you guys, and thank you for doing your due diligence and investigating Purple Heart Homes before you put us on the air.
No,
You're welcome.
no worries. I'm sorry I wasn't so talkative today. I'm going through three different illnesses at once. So, um,
You're fine. You're working the board.
kinda. I mean, you can count four illnesses if you have to talk about dealing with Joel, but
Oh wow.
but I really can't talk. It actually hurts a lot to talk. I'm normally a very talkative person, though.
Yes, it
Uh,
is.
but thank you very, very much for coming on our show. Um, I hope you enjoyed it, and you didn't get to hear me knock Joel down too much tonight. So,
Well,
Well,
good deal.
on that note, Mr. Fleming, we really appreciate it. And once we get this all taped up and stuff, I will have our secretary send you a copy of the link so that you can hear.
All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate the
Awesome.
time.
Thank you. Have a
thank you.
great day.
You too.
Bye bye. Everybody, that was Mr. Oh gosh, I hope I pronounce it right. That was Monte Fleming from the Purple Heart Homes organization here in Colorado.
Rockin' harder than a Viagra convention at a nudie bar. The new militarybrotherhoodradio.com.